Time? What is time anyway? Honestly, I have no idea. But it appears to be flat. And you know what they say? Flat is justice, or something like that. I just don't know what's going on anymore. I've seen some people talking about stuff this week. I was wondering, but didn't this happen before already? Many times? Well, maybe not many times, but everything we have here, well, not literally everything, at least, but a bunch of stuff appears to be a repeat of things we've seen before. It's so strange to me. I don't even know what's going on. This, on one hand, at least, this teaches me that people never learn. Wow, imagine that. What a revelation, I know. So, let me bring up my browser and see what we have for today. Where is the browser again? Okay, hold up. I think I'm blind. What else is new? So this day, and I don't know if this is literally the same case or a new case, but I swear I've seen this before. I swear I've seen this before. So, AI shopping app CEO facing 40 years in prison for using humans instead. But I thought AI was really good. What happened? Well, maybe it's not that good, or maybe just using Indians is actually cheaper. I think they're actually from Pakistan. Not that different. Not that different. Albert, can I even say the name? Albert. I'm gonna say Albert. I don't know how to say that. The former CEO of Nate has been charged with defrauding investors after the Department of Justice found his AI shopping app was powered by hundreds of call center employees. This feels like a meme. This feels like a meme, but I'm pretty sure this is real, because I've heard about this before. And it could be a different case. Albert founded Nate back in 2018 and raised more than 40 million from multiple investors based on the app's development and deployment of AI. What AI though? He marketed the Innate app as a universal shopping cart program that simplified online shopping, allowing users to skip the checkout on retail websites, reducing the process to a single tap, and to use proprietary AI technology to autonomously complete online purchases on behalf of the people using it. However, it turns out that he was falsely marketing the product and putting actual people to work instead. Okay, this is product marketing. And sure, that is wrong, but is using people that bad? I don't think it's that bad at least. They use real people to fuel AI up. Not to fuel AI, but to fake it. Investigation from the United States Department of Justice revealed that Albert acquired AI tech from a third party and hired developers for it, but never achieved the ability to complete online purchases. That's kind of weak. Instead of using AI to complete the checkout for users, it relied on the use of human workers to process transactions in secret. Albert used hundreds of purchasing assistants in a call center located in the Philippines, wrong P country, for creating an army of bots to automate the process. An army of bots? Is that so different from AI? It's hard to tell sometimes. Also, of course, it's gonna be Southeast Asia, because their economy is trash. So you can employ a lot of people by just paying them pennies in comparison. As a result of the investigation, Albert has been charged with one count of Only one. Securities fraud and one count of wire fraud, which both carry a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison each. It's not gonna be 40 years, there's no way. Albert allegedly defrauded investors with allegations of his company's purported artificial intelligence capabilities, while covertly employing personnel to satisfy the illusion of technological automation. The illusion of choice, am I right? I feel like this happens quite a lot. That shouldn't be that surprising. Most of the high technology you see nowadays is just a bunch of smoke. And it's not because the technology doesn't exist, it's because people are incompetent. Which is actually depressing. The FBI Assistant Director in charge, Christopher G. Raya? I'm not quite sure. Albert allegedly abused integrity associated with his former position as the CEO to perpetuate a scheme filled with smoke and mirrors. It's not cruel. Smoke and that happens a lot, especially in tech. It is that bad. Especially in tech because people are mostly tech illiterate and it's getting worse. I keep saying that, but it's the truth. The FBI will continue to investigate any business owner who withholds material information to encourage additional investments. Yeah. Hold up, I haven't seen this before, but... Official blast Adam 22 for launching crypto bomb and down despite warnings. Isn't Adam 22 a massive cock? Now that I'm insulting the guy, quite literally a cock. Like, they're literally into cuckoldry, right? I guess this guy obviously has a humiliation fetish, which makes sense. Sad state. Person was under fire for doing something similar with their just walkout tech. I think this is the thing I've read before, so I was right. This is not the first time this happened. Until 2024, Amazon spent years promoting its AI-based checkout technology, but they pulled a similar route to what Nate did. If this is what I'm thinking... let's finish just in case. The company claimed that Amazon Fresh customers could put items in the cart and the store's technology, but some customers appeal as they walk out of the store. However, an investigation revealed that the technology relied on about 1,000 people in India to process orders manually. I've heard of this. I don't know when. I think I heard someone talk about it, so lost to the wind. But the idea was that they had technology that could detect what items the person were getting from the store and whatnot. I don't even know if this is the first time this has happened. No idea anymore. So they could be built with some sort of automated process. But that was not true. That was a lie. They had people controlling what the customers were getting from the store. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Wow, technology. Technology is amazing. Technology is interesting, but a lot of it's just, as they said up here, smoke and mirrors. Also, I had to say this because I had to say this every single time, because it is still true, right? AI. They keep saying AI, artificial intelligence. It's not AI, it's not actual intelligence. Obviously so. It's just some sort of, how do they call it? Algorithm, right? Which, sure, they can be really useful and all that. It's not actual intelligence, okay? It's not actual intelligence. Despite the allegations. Oh, but look, this engineer was talking with the AI, and the AI seemed to have actual intelligence, actual self-awareness. No, it's a machine copying actual self-awareness from people, because that's what they do. They get giant amounts of information from the internet, and they just churn out something similar. So obviously, you're gonna have, wow, looks like a person. Yeah, because the internet is full of people. How is this a hard concept? I don't understand. I will never understand. So strange. Speaking of smoke and mirrors and lack of intelligence, let's talk about a little bit about Nintendo, shall we? I saw this and I wasn't sure what was going on. Just a little bit stupid. Just a little bit stupid. Then of course the listing of vtuber streamer suspected the use of hacked Pokemon cartridge. I don't think Picwood did anything wrong here. Unless Usada Picwood's live stream after consulting with Nintendo about alleged use of hacked Pokemon Emerald cartridge. As far as I know, she didn't know. So... yeah? Wow. Thumbnails. Eurocorp, owner of VTuber agency Whole Life Japan, issued a statement on April 9th regarding a recent live stream by their talent. They keep trying to read latent for some reason. So the Picora. After receiving guidance from Nintendo. Well, there's no official confirmation about whether the VTuber really used the hacked cartridge or not. Nintendo has requested for the live stream in question to be delisted. When I saw live to steer clear of price that could have hit them in potential risk of breaking Nintendo's live streaming guidelines. You know what? Fuck Nintendo! Not their live streaming guidelines! I wasn't really considering it for low term, but I guess we had to play a hack room of Pokemon Emerald soon, right? Just as a stick it to the man. I don't like Hoenn though. Second, I guess it makes sense. We might be running with 3 games at once soon. And in this case, from what I've seen, it's just an honest mistake, okay? Another string which sparked the controversy took place on March 29th. Ah, it's been weeks. envtuber took on the challenge of finding a shiny Mew in Pokemon Emerald. The idea behind the live stream was that she'd buy a bunch of used Emerald cartridges until she finds the Old Sea map. I don't think that's the English name for it. An item that was only distributed in person at the Japanese Pokemon Convention in 2005. Maybe it is, I have no idea. One of acquiring the items, the player allowed to encounter a Mew. Was she trying to shiny hunt it? Because this Mew here is blue? I have no idea. I know a lot of people enjoy shiny hunting. And I hate to be that guy, but I'm not a big fan of shiny hunting. I think, even though the concept of shiny Pokemon is actually interesting and it could be hype, I feel like most of them are just ugly. It also takes an inordinate amount of time to do shiny hunting in all the games. However, as me I think it's truly rare Pokemon to find an Emerald, some players would resort to hacking their cartridge to get it. There's a high chance that Sodapic would about a large number. Okay, I was wrong. Large numbers of used cartridges of auction websites. A hacked cartridge came into her possession and ended up on a stream. That's potentially violating Nintendo's guidelines. Well, Nintendo can suck up my guidelines, okay? Also, I've seen Japanese people or people residing in Japan streaming and showcasing, let's say, fun projects. I guess when you're running a company, it's a little bit different. Maybe that's also what happened to oh my god, I don't wanna say the wrong name. Zion from Neji Sanji. I think she mentioned about emulation, which is not a crime anyway. Given sounds were quick to notice that something may be up regarding the version of the game she was using, and the resulting interest on social media prompted Colbert to seek guidance from Nintendo. Oh my god, they're so gay. It was an honest mistake. Oh my god. Sure, releasing an official statement like, yeah, this shouldn't have happened, it's fine. Perhaps even editing out that part of the VOD, even though I believe that's already too much. That could be on the realm of something we can understand. This is so ass, dude. This is so ass. In response to Nintendo's requests, Cover Corp has apologized to fans and assured them that, in addition to making the video private, the company will take more precautionary measures and raise awareness among their staff and talents in order to prevent any similar incidents. No, not the hacked game! What is Nintendo going to do? They're going to starve! Isn't Pokemon Emerald more than 20 years old at this point? Fuck, I'm pretty sure Diamond's about to be 20 years old next year, right? Didn't they release 2006 in Japan, something like that? I don't remember anymore. They're so annoying. They're so annoying, I swear to God. Nintendo can be really stupid at times. This is just ridiculous. Oh, the hacked Pokemon game! Not like this, man! Not like this! Sadly, this is not everything we have from Nintendo today. That seems like a joke website. It could be. So we also have... It's not everything around here. So we have here, from Insider Gaming, Nintendo GameCube controller not compatible with Switch 2 games. Just GameCube Classics. What a fucking mistake. What a mistake. You already have the controller. Why not? I mean, I guess it could be a problem if you don't have enough inputs. You can just add another, like you see button here to the other side. Call it today, okay? Pretty sure that's just the chat button, which is even worse. Come to the Nintendo community's attention to the new Nintendo GameCube controller set to launch with the Switch 2. Can is too many verbs here. It's only usable with the limited collection of classic GameCube titles via Nintendo Switch Online. It feels... It's funny, but it feels like a beta and Switch. Still sponsoring the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct was the announcement of GameCube integration for Switch Online. Nintendo's library of retro games is growing even more thanks to GameCube additions. Legendary properties, including Pokemon Stadium and Super Mario Sunshine, will make up the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Okay, hold up. Hold up. I know that sometimes I may be stupid. The fact they mean Pokemon Stadium for the GameCube. It's a Nintendo 64 game. Did you mean Pokemon Coliseum? I don't think Coliseum was called the stadium, not even in Japan. Right? Hold up. What is this? Let's see here. Don't you have the Japanese name here? I guess not. What the Bulbapedia? Usually have the... Yeah! Everything is in katakana here. Pokemon Kuroshiyamu. So, yeah, it's even in good translation. Players. 1, 2, or 4. But I only have 2 friends. You have to kill one of them. Insane. So strange. I think official Nintendo GameCube controls are coming too, featuring the new C button. But if you're looking to grab this super special controller, take heed of its limited capabilities. I'm also pretty sure it's not gonna be as sturdy as all the GameCube controllers, so maybe that's for the best. Because the Nintendo GameCube games are coming to Nintendo Switch 2, here on the Nintendo UK YouTube channel, featuring explainer and explainer. Strange wording once again of the new GameCube expansion features. You also get through to a look at the new GameCube controller, but a small print message towards the end is easily missed. At 2:13, a message at the top of the screen reads, "The controller is only compatible with Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics." But why? Doesn't make any sense. The controller isn't expected to be cheap. It never is. And it's also quite exclusive. It's only available for Nintendo Switch Online members and the My Nintendo store. Unless you're a die-hard Nintendo or GameCube fan or collector, this is not a big cost for a piece of hardware, only useful with a small handful of games. At this point in time, I have to ask, why not just emulate the games? I think it's fair. Also, can't you get just a Steam Deck? If it can run Switch games, I'm pretty sure it can run GameCube games. Which is gonna be way cheaper. Then the price of the Switch 2, because of the games, and even a paid tutorial, the Switch 2 cost soon adds up. Shouldn't be ad, should be ad, right? You should think about the cost, that's a plural. Are you desperate for a new GameCube controller, or is this one step too far? You're looking to use the new Pro Controller or Joy-Con 2? Are these people ESL? They're more ESL than me, which should say something. Only one comment. One comment. The one full Nintendo has always been greedy. And it's only getting even more greedy now, I feel. Microsoft once again. Opportunities there for Aaron Greenberg and Phil, for sure, bringing an actual gamer, no woke idiots, by Take-Two next. I don't know, I feel like it might be ESL too. Hard to follow. Andrew Hayton, that doesn't seem like a, dare I say, ethnic name? I guess we all make mistakes though. Well, it would be really funny if this guy was actually British. So yeah, expect this thing to be around $60 at the minimum. It would probably be between 50 and 80, but I think an average of 60 is actually fair. Yes, I know it can actually be cheaper, but I don't think it's gonna be. And do you really think they were pretty just with this? No. You will have to pay even more for all shit. It is insane. Like this thing. Game-changing stories. Tech Trader Gaming, I guess. Yes, Nintendo Switch 2 edition games will contain the algorithms on the cartridge, but it seems Breath of the Wild DLC will still need to be purchased separately. Then you have to spend like $80 to buy the upgraded edition? How greedy can they be? This is actually really bad news for games in general, games at large. Because this is showing that if the games are somewhat okay, somewhat good, not a big fan of Breath of the Wild, but I have to admit, it's much better than a bunch of slop they keep releasing. Not Nintendo, just in general. They can just ask for the moon. And I don't know about you, but having to pay $80 for a game that's what? I was about to say 10. 10 is too much. It's like 7 years old. And then on top of that DLC? That's way too much, man. That is way too much. But they're getting really bold in the worst way possible. Just meaning to purchase the expansion pass separately. Depending on the game, yes. It also has. Nintendo has confirmed that the Nintendo Switch 2 edition games will contain the full game and upgrades on the cartridge. There's still uncertainty surrounding some downloadable content DLC. Last week, a Nintendo customer service representative caused some confusion among fans following the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct by informing one player that Switch 2 edition games will be original Switch cartridges with a download code attached. Is that just a way of increasing prices? That seems way too scuffed. And sure, there was the thing of, well, now you can resell them or share them, whatnot, but why not just have the game there? This is so scummy. This is so scummy. I don't like it. And it has not clarified that this is not the case, and that enhanced games like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild will feature the full game and the upgrades on the Switch 2 edition cartridge. Which is normal, that's fine. I suppose. I just have a problem with the price. Instead of the books, Nintendo spokesperson said physical versions of Nintendo Switch 2 edition games will include the original Nintendo Switch game and its upgrade pack, all in the same game card. Let's be real, this upgrade pack is just glorified DLC. But if you want to play on the Switch 2, it's mandatory DLC apparently. So I don't know. This seems really scummy. There are exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 game cards with no download code. Okay. Alternatively, some publishers may release Nintendo Switch 2 edition games as download codes in physical packaging with no game card. Which seems weird. Like, trying to have the worst of both worlds. They're selling you the physical item. There's not an actual physical copy. If the servers go down, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to cope and sneeze, I'm afraid. Although we have confirmation on this aspect, there's still uncertainty surrounding DLC, specifically when it comes to Breath of the Wild and expansion pass. As reported by Nintendo, a main Nintendo Store customer service representative stated that the Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition is not going to include expansion pass content, which includes the Master Trials and the Champions Battle. Why not? It's not even new. Doesn't make any sense. Another user on Reddit also shared a message from a different My Nintendo Store representative, which claims something similar. I want to like Nintendo. I think they make usually good games. At the very least we can say decent games, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with these games. I can disagree with the direction of Zelda games. They're not for me, and that's fine. I don't think they're necessarily bad. But why do they have to be so greedy, man? Why do they have to be this greedy? Companies, I guess. Unless it makes sense, right? The main thing you can criticize them of is trying to get more money, but that's the objective of a company. Getting more money. So, at the end of the day, I don't even know. It just feels like way too much, though. Also, they're usually the kind of people that never lower prices, so... Yeah, I don't know, maybe I got way too used to Steam and whatnot. Did you know that you usually can buy Tales of Symphonia, a GameCube game, by the way, for $5 on Steam? It's not literally the GameCube version, it would be the PS2 version, but translated, which is actually more content, but it's not 60 FPS, it's only 30. I think it's fine. It shouldn't be that expensive. The game is old. Oh my god. Game, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. What a long name. Nintendo Store will not include the paid DLCs. If you purchase the Switch 2 version in physical, it will arrive in the corresponding game box. The message read. Shouldn't that be in the game already? You're paying for the game. I'm assuming full price. You're paying for the expansion pack. Because you have to. Well, it's not expansion pack, it's upgrade pack. I'm sorry for my wording. And I'm pretty sure you have to pay for the upgrade pack if you want to play that on the Switch 2. We're talking bare minimum $80. You didn't even have the DLC? I'd rather have the DLC than the upgrade pack, not gonna lie. Sounds way better. I still have official confirmation from Nintendo, but it seems that, like with the Switch version, players will need to purchase the DLC packs again to play them on Switch 2. That's key wording. Purchase the DLC packs again. What if you bought them already for the Switch 1? Are you shit out of luck? I don't think that's fair. That's something I quite dislike about Nintendo. On one hand, I appreciate that they keep bringing old games to their online stores and whatnot, right? Oh my god, GameCube games. They're good games. But the problem is, for each console iteration they have, you have to buy the games again. And sure, there are some Nintendo games I own several times. For strange reasons, it was never on purpose. It was always a side effect of something else. But let's say I have original Castlevania for the NES, which I don't, but let's say that. Let's say about it again on the Wii Store, which I didn't, but a friend of mine did. If you got a Wii U, you need to buy it again. If you got a Switch, you got to buy it again. If you got a Switch too, I'm pretty sure you have to buy it again. That's so disgusting. I shouldn't be buying, quote unquote, buying the same game every single time. Especially if I already own it, physical edition. That's why you'll always support emulation, especially of Nintendo games. Oh, the Oracle games. The Zelda Oracle games, they're so good. They're pretty good, I like them a lot. Why do I need to buy them on every single platform? It's not fair. I have it on my GameCube. Game Boy. Wrong G platform, my bad. I don't think I need to buy them on my 3DS. I don't think I need to buy them again on my Nintendo Switch. I don't have a Switch though, but I do have a 3DS. Oh, the Pokemon games, they're so good. I think they're good. I like them. I play them many times. I don't think I need to buy them again 3, 4, 5 different times. I already own them. And now, the same with games that are not even that old. You should be able to play natively on this system. And even worse, you have to pay a game for the fucking DLC. Which I'm pretty sure you cannot own physically. So... God, so ass. Also unclear if this applies to Switch 2 edition games with DLC. I don't know. One is too many. Let's say. Breath of the Wild DLC price. Because I have no idea. Of the Wild? Oh, my bad. $20? Are you fucking with me right now? 20 fucking bucks for the DLC? So they were right. They were not wrong at all. But that Nintendo 90 bucks. It's just the Mercard and the in Europe. What about this? You want to play the game with DLC? You will have to pay bare minimum $100. The game's not even new. This is insane. This is insane. And at least Breath of the Wild is a long game. Unlike some other stuff that's actually short, kind of ass, dare I say? I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to like Nintendo, but they did this shit like this. And I had to wonder... Guys, please. Please! You're supposed to be the good company! Oh my god. And... I didn't have this for right now anyway, but... I guess it only makes sense. Speaking of not owning your games... Once again, we have to talk about the Ubisoft. I don't know if this is an older statement, or they're repeating the same statement because they're in a legal battle. We've been talking about this... pretty sure more than a year now. Their stuff with the Crew game. I guess they're still under legal battle. And you have a lot of people, oh, they're saying this, they're saying that. Well, yes, they're saying this and that, but... It's not new. It's not new. So we had this from IGN, you know it's good. Even though the Crew lawsuit insists we don't own the games we buy. Realty's consumers were explicitly notified at the time of purchase they were purchasing a license. I'm gonna call shenanigans on that one. I don't think that is true at all. Because I don't think they will tell you explicitly at the time of purchase that you're buying a license. Oh, license! Especially if you buy the physical copy. I know that Steam had to change some stuff thanks to a California law, something like that. This was months ago. So, sure, Steam is different. Digital product, dare I say. But You have to be fucking kidding me. If I'm buying product, then you're gonna tell me, ah, well, you didn't have the full benefits of buying the product. They keep justifying piracy. And you know what? It's Ubisoft. They fully deserve it. I'm still hoping they go under, and they probably will. I think this goes through the whole story of the lawsuit. And I think it's fine because I might be missing some stuff. Ubisoft has insisted that buying a game doesn't give players unfettered ownership rights to it, only a limited license to access the game. It's really funny. I want to make a joke, but surprisingly they're not British, they're French. I don't like the French either, but... Oh man, do you have a license for the game? If I buy product, I should be able to use the product until it collapses physically. That was the way it was back in the day. If I rummage around, I don't think it's... I don't think we get it anymore. But if I were to borrow my sister's NES and her games and connect it to the TV, if it works, I'm still able to play it. That shit is older than me. Did you know that? Yeah? And that's how it should be. But no, not anymore. They keep hassling you out of your money, it's so ass. Ubisoft. Nothing new. The maker's comments it to dismiss a case brought by two unhappy Intercrew players who took the company to court for shutting down its original racing game last year. And the problem here is actually easily solvable. We've seen the solution from Japan many times, even with gacha games. When gacha games are better than Ubisoft, you know Ubisoft is ass. Unfettered access, more like unfettered ass. You can just release a patch and make it just work offline. Sure, we all understand, even though it's rough, we all understand that they cannot be running the servers forever, okay? But it's a problem of their own, right? Back in my day, I know I mentioned this game many times before, even though I don't think it's that well known. Sacred. PC game that's pretty sure more than 20 years old at this point. It's like a Diablo-like kind of game. I never played Diablo, but everyone says Diablo-like, so I'm going with that description. You can always play multiplayer. Don't think they ever had, at least when you played, dedicated servers. But you could create temporal servers, you could connect quote-unquote peer-to-peer, create your own server and whatnot. That's all technology. How is this not in this kind of game? You could make it so, okay, we don't have the official servers anymore, but you can still play the game offline, because why not? You bought the game, it's not a big deal. Or you can connect to your friends in a peer-to-peer fashion. It's not new technology. It's not new technology. It should be easy to implement if you already have a server. Even if you had to add the caveat of, well, we had to add this to our website so you can download it, because it has to be an unofficial patch. It has to be somewhere, well, not unofficial, but even though it's an official patch, you need to be able to access it even when the servers are down, because they will be down. How is this a problem? Well, it's Ubisoft, that's the problem. Therefore, the crew is no longer playable. No version of the game, whether it's physical or digital, or even if it's owned already, can be bought and played in any capacity. The server's going dark completely at the end of March 2024. Ubisoft took measures to create offline versions of The Crew 2 and sequel The Crew Manifest to enable players to keep playing, but no similar action was taken for the original. Massive mistake. And I'm pretty sure this is them, on one hand, them being extremely lazy, because why wouldn't they? They can get away with it. But on the other hand, they're pushing you to buy the next game. Once again, you have to keep paying. Because you cannot use your old games anymore. It's so ass. It's so ass. Emulation. Guys, emulation, please. In this case, something stronger than emulation, okay? Tale of the Seven Seas has always been an interesting job. At the end of last year, 2 games to Ubisoft to court, instead they had been under the impression they were paying to own and possess the video game The Crew, instead of paying for a limited license to use The Crew. And I know I mentioned gacha games, right? And some of them, at least nowadays, release offline versions of themselves. Like, there was this Toho game that was a kind of a rhythm game. Never played it, I'm terrible with rhythm games. Are you seeing me play Yakuza? I know. There was the Race, there was also the Mega Man gacha game. They have offline versions. I'm sure something you have to buy, but at the same time, they're gacha games that you don't buy. They're officially free to play, even though they have microtransactions. They're not as greedy as the French. When you buy a pinball machine, and years later you enter then to go play it, only to discover that all the paddles are missing. The pinball and bumpers are gone, and the monitor that probably display your unassailable high score is removed. Initial loss is red. And obviously, the wording is actually very accurate, because they're not saying, well, it broke. Well, no shit, it broke. What are you going to do? There's not much you can do about that. Products break all the time. I don't think after, let's say, 10 years it's gonna be within warranty. But if it broke naturally, well, sucks to suck. You can always try to fix it, but this is unfixable. As per by Polygon, the claimants accuse Ubisoft of violating California's false advertising law, unfair competition law, and Consumer Legal Remedies Act, as well as common law fraud and breach of warranty claims. I'm not too sure about the warranty though. I mean, 2014, it's a long time for a warranty, I suppose. Maybe different kind of warranty. Legal babble, okay? I have limited knowledge. I also suggest Ubisoft broke California's state law around gift cards, which are not allowed to expire. Interesting. You know shit is bad when California are the good guys. I keep saying stuff like this. It's a spiral to hell. The game has also provided images that depict the activation code for the registered plural shows that it does not expire until 2099. Surely we'll all be alive still by then. Stable even implies that the crew will remain playable during this time and long thereafter. Perhaps surprisingly, Ubisoft does not agree. But oh my god, of course they don't. Plaintiffs allege that the purchase physical copies of the crew under the belief that they were obtaining unfettered access to the game in perpetuity. Which makes sense, because it's a physical copy. I did have my gripes with digital copies, and the writing might be on the wall. Gabe, please don't die. Don't die on us. That's gonna be a disaster for Steam. But this was to take issue with the fact that Ubisoft didn't offer to create an offline single-player option of the game, otherwise known as a patch, which shuts down the crew servers in March 2024. This is Lewis wrote, and that would be a fantastic fix. Once again, official servers, they're not gonna be open forever, and that's understandable. It's a big cost. Just have the game be playable in an offline way. That's all we ask. And this was also a kind of interesting talking point. Not as big as this, because it was a long time ago. Back in my day, oh my god, I feel so old. Do you guys remember the Nintendo Wii? I do remember the Nintendo Wii, I played that thing a lot. Do you guys remember Monster Hunter Tri? Some people will tell you it was a bad game. I think it had huge limitations that shouldn't be there, but it also had really interesting ideas. Sadly, one of the limitations was high rank was only online mode, but you had to access the servers. You couldn't play offline. And when the servers went down, they removed, I'd say, more than half of the game. That is fraud, in my opinion. Nowadays we're, I guess, lucky, because some people managed to bring up some unofficial servers, but it's been what? Not 15 years, but it's close to that. That's too much. That is too much. And once again, if that was playable offline, there wouldn't be a problem, even though some quests would be nigh impossible, as we were saying. The essence of the plaintiff's complaint is that Ubisoft allegedly misled purchasers. Interesting wording, not customers. I guess people are actually allergic to the word customer nowadays. So sad. Purchasers, consumers. Why not a customer? It's actually quite literally the same in some cases. But I guess consumer has different connotations. I guess purchaser has different connotations, which are not good for the customer. Misled purchase of its video game to crew into believing they were purchasing unfettered ownership rights in the game, creating a limited license to access the game. But the reality is that consumers received the benefit of their bargain and were explicitly notified at the time of purchase that they were purchasing a license. Explicitly notified at the time of purchase. If this is gonna be their defense, I don't think this is true. If this was on the under digital copies, I guess that can be somewhat believable. If I go to the game store and I buy the game, nobody's going to notify me that this is the case when I buy the game, because this never happened before. Strange. Sponsor for the end after the Xbox and PlayStation packaging containing a clear and conspicuous notice in all capital letters that the Ubisoft may cancel access to one or more specific online features upon a 30-day prior notice. One or more specific online features? You wouldn't think the whole game. Now I understand that they're really slimy, and of course, they can mean the whole game. I wouldn't have thought that in 2014. Mostly 2024. Ubisoft has now filed a motion to dismiss the case. If that fails and the lawsuit does proceed, the plaintiffs have demanded the jury trial. Storefronts including Steam, including upfront warning to customers that they are buying a license, not a game. The change to Steam came after California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law forcing digital marketplaces to make it clear to customers that when they buy media, they only buy a license to that media. And this is what I was talking about before. And on one hand, I think this is fair, because this is what's happening. So you should know what you're actually buying. But I don't think it should be just a license. If I'm buying a game, and I'm paying full price for a game, some games are really expensive, as we were saying. It shouldn't be just a license. And it doesn't matter if it's physical or digital. But this law is firm because this is what's happening. But what's happening is actually bad. It's worth noting that the new law still doesn't prevent companies from yanking your content away from you. In theory, I suppose. But we're gonna have to warn you about the true nature of your purchase before you click that buy button, which I think it's fine. But at the same time, that shouldn't be the case. Am I not buying the game? I think I am. And once again, if this goes forward and somehow, I don't think it's gonna happen, but if this goes forward and somehow Ubisoft wins, this is a really scary precedent for buying games later. They should lose. They deserve to lose everything they have. Do you have a license for the game? But I have to admit that at the same time, if they end up winning, even though it's gonna be worse for buying games, it's actually gonna be better for pirating games. Because how is this stealing? I cannot even buy the game, I cannot even own it by your own rules. So I guess it's justified. I didn't pay for the license. And that's it. Take a sip of my water here. So ass, man, it's just so ass. And speaking of things that are ass, companies? Is it the government a company? I guess it can be in a way. They keep taking shit away from you. And even though I wasn't ever a huge user of this platform, it shouldn't go away. Let's talk about BitChute for a second. Cornelius Skeptic. It was the only article I found that was not extremely suspicious. But I've seen the official notice, this is real. BitChute discontinues its video hosting service in the UK and blames Online Safety Act. Oh, the government. Oi mate! Do you have a license for the BitChute? I don't think you do. Not anymore, at least. BitChute, the pro-free speech alternative to YouTube. I think this is actually correct, but at the same time, they appear to have an interesting amount of unhinged people, which is going to happen when you're pro-free speech. Don't think that's wrong. Has decided to stop operating in the UK for fear of being censored and fined by Ofcom, following the regulator's accusation of sweeping new powers under the Online Safety Act. Sweeping new powers. This seems like a demonic ritual took place, and we're talking about something called the Online Safety Act from the UK government, so I guess it's not too far-fetched, even though far-fetched is actually kind of a bad Pokemon. Good for utility. I like the UK government. Now that BitChute will be the first of many American social media companies to stop offering their services in the UK as a result of the Online Safety Act. Since March 17th, Ofcom can fine social media companies up to 10% of their annual global turnover if they fail to comply with the Act, a dark day for freedom of speech. And this is the UK. We know they hate freedom of speech. They hate the speech in general. There's a bunch of shit you can say. There's a bunch of shit you cannot do. How many times have I mentioned already that I think it was a woman? They got into legal trouble. Legal trouble, by the way, for praying outside the hospital. And not praying out loud, but praying mentally. Like, your mind. That's quite literally a thought crime, and she got persecuted for that. Insanity. Insanity! BG has published the following statement on its website. It's kind of long, but I think it's important. For valid users in the United Kingdom, after careful review and ongoing evaluation of the regulatory landscape in the United Kingdom, we regret to inform you that BitChute will be discontinuing its video sharing service for UK residents. The introduction of the UK Online Safety Act of 2023, don't know too much about it, but from what I'm seeing of the UK, it's probably really bad and it's probably really censorious, I'm assuming. Has brought about significant changes in the regulatory framework governing online content and community interactions. Notably, the Act contains sweeping provisions and onerous corrective measures with respect to content moderation and enforcement. In particular, the broad enforcement powers granted to the Regulator of Communication Services, Ofcom, have raised concerns regarding the open-ended and unpredictable nature of regulatory compliance for our platform. Hold up. I'm not an expert here, okay? But isn't it a little bit strange? Let's look this up. Let's see, Ofcom. What is Ofcom? Okay, they're actually a government agency at least. With that name, I was assuming it was a private company. Which would be really interesting, having a private company working for the government, censoring stuff. It wouldn't be a first, but dangerous precedent once again. So I guess that's within the realm of logic, at least. The BitChute platform has always operated on principles of freedom of speech, expression, and association. Everything there is illegal nowadays in the UK. Instead to foster an open and inclusive environment for content creators and audiences alike. Ah, this is really funny. An inclusive environment? But I'm pretty sure they were fostering the wrong kind of inclusiveness, right? That's why they got axed. However, the evolving regulatory pressures, including strict enforcement mechanisms and potential liabilities, have created an operational landscape in which continuing to serve the UK market exposes our company to unacceptable legal and compliance risks. Despite our best efforts to navigate these challenges, the uncertainty surrounding the OSA's enforcement, it's just the Online Safety Act, if you're unsure, by outcome its far-reaching implications leave us no viable alternative but to cease normal operations in the UK. And I guess one way or another they won, because they ended up censoring BitChute. Not good. Sure, I might probably disagree with what they say in BitChute, the kind of content they have, maybe. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't be there. It's always the same, right? If you don't like it, don't buy it. Just don't watch. What are you doing? How is this a problem? It shouldn't be. Therefore, effective immediately, BitChute platform users in the UK will no longer be available to view content produced by any other BitChute user. Because the OSA's primary concern is that members of the public will view content deemed unsafe. Unsafe, by the way. I also remember the meme, right? How is cyberbullying real? Just turn off the computer, just walk away. It's quite the same. Oh no. I ended up watching something I disagree with. And now I'm mad. Well, that sounds like a you problem. However, we will permit UK BitChute users to continue to post content. Interesting. Can they do that? I guess that they can. The significant change will be that this UK user posting content will not be viewable by any other UK user. Unless you use a VPN, I suppose. But will be visible to other users outside of the UK. Users outside the UK may comment on that content, which the creator will continue to be able to read, delete, block, reply, and flag. Users outside the UK may share UK user-produced content to other users outside of the UK as normal. In other words, for users in the UK, including content creators, the BitChute platform is no longer a user-to-UK user video sharing service. A little bit convoluted, but it's probably the best solution they found. A little bit of scuff, but it's better than nothing, I guess. It's not full-on censorship, which is okay. It's only partial censorship. Still bad. Okay, it's still bad. We deeply regret the inconvenience and disappointment this decision may cause to our UK users and partners. This decision was not taken lightly. It reflects our commitment to maintain the highest standards of compliance, protecting our community, and ensuring that our platform remains a safe and sustainable space for creative expression globally. We recognize the value for our UK community and extend our sincerest apologies for the disruption caused by this necessary step. Our support team remains available to answer any queries or concerns regarding this transition. They're woke! We appreciate the support and engagement of our community around the world and remain dedicated to providing a platform that champions free expression, innovative content sharing in an environment of regulatory safety. Thank you for your understanding. And as per usual, when they keep quote-unquote regulating a speech, it's no longer free speech. Because it's limited, it's regulated, it's not good. And oh my god, I feel this is gonna be getting worse. Let's read the comments, this is gonna be spicy. State sponsor censorship masquerading as online safety knows exactly what it's doing. Straight out the CCP playbook. Nanny knows worst. My goodness. Nurse Reed, shut it down, replies a guy. The aim is no free, independent information sources, just government-controlled lie machine. But I thought the British were the good guys. What happened? Do you understand now why I hate the British? And I had to wonder if they were ever good. They were really good with propaganda, that's for sure. Really bad, man, really bad. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, that's fine. It was not the music crashing. It was rolling over. And dying. This is gonna keep happening. The UK, man, what a hellscape. Speaking of censorship, I guess we have a bunch of stuff about censorship today. It was not on purpose, okay? It just happened. So, we have this article here. I only read a little bit about this on social media. This is also from a British website, funny enough. Fury over rape and incest game that tells players to be women's worst nightmare as Texas Secretary slams pizza giant. Even though it has the incest tag, this is not the coughing of Andy and Laylee, okay, it's a different game. There's something called No Mercy. The following still contains reference to sexual assault, violence against women, and misogyny. So you're telling me it's good? The computer game No Mercy is centered on the male protagonist, who is encouraged to become every woman's worst nightmare and never take no for an answer. Technology Secretary Peter Kyle, who is responsible for overseeing the government's online safety strategy, described the game as deeply worrying and demanded the tech giant take it down. They're talking about Steam, I'm pretty sure. The game launched on Steam last month and is described as all developers as continuing violence, incest, blackmail, what they describe as unavoidable non-consensual sex. Non-consensual sex, oh my god, I'm trying here. You know what? If you don't like it, don't buy it. Sure, I don't think I will play this game either, but I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. It's a game after all. It requires a card to buy. It has minimal age verification checks, with computers warning it could be downloaded by children. That could be said about literally any game on Steam. That's not a good example. And there are many spicy games on Steam. There are many games only for adults, not all of them being spicy. There's some extremely violent stuff. Shouldn't that be on Steam? Now, if you have minors, you should take care of your minors, obviously. Right, your kids and whatnot. All themes exist in video games, but I'm so shocked and surprised with this. Elvis's tech correspondent, Will Guyot said. There's probably about 3.5 million active Steam accounts in the UK. I just don't see how these can be openly, easily available, and also importantly, not removed when people like myself have reported it as unsuitable. Are you gonna tell me that the problems in the UK, mainly of sexual violence, come from Steam games? You're delusional. You're fucking delusional if you think that's the case, because it's not. I have created a Steam account with full access to adult content by simply taking boxes claiming to be 18+, and was able to download No Mercy for £9.99. But that could be said about literally everything. You can go to porn sites and even buy stuff there if you have a card. It's not that difficult, guys. It's not that difficult. It's just a, oh, will nobody think about the children? And sure, keeping the children safe is important. But this is way too much. This is ridiculous. There are more important things to deal with if you want to protect kids than a fucking spicy game on Steam. The companies make it as easy as possible for kids to go on and put in a fake age and put in a card. Her mental health expert, Nova Eden, said. Okay, let me ask you another question then. Why does a kid have access to a card then? I don't think I had a card before I was an adult. So that seems a huge oversight from their parents, or dare I say, legal guardians. Don't leave your kids alone, especially in the internet. I can say that. Because back in my day, my mother would tell me, "Oh, be careful on the internet. Oh, don't trust everything you see on the internet. There's a lot of bad people out there." And now that we have literally everybody on the internet, are you gonna tell me that's not the case? Not only that's still the case, that's even more common, because you have more people. Same density of bad people, at best, but since you have more people, you're gonna have more bad people. That's how density works. He says many parents will be under the misconception that sites like Steam are a game shop, a social network, and therefore assume they're properly moderated. Once again, if you don't know, why the fuck are you assuming stuff? Also, funny thing, if you make a Steam account, then you have to add your age. So, you're letting your kids create accounts without supervision and using your payment cards. Parenting, am I right, fellas? Keeps happening. In reality, Steam is not signed up to any age rating frameworks like PEGI, a content rating system established to help European consumers make informed decisions when buying video games through the use of approved age recommendations and content descriptors. But even though that's correct, Steam still has some age-gated stuff. It's really annoying. And try to look up games that could be, I don't know, 16 plus, they say, like the Yakuza games. And I'm not logged in because I'm using my browser, and suddenly, oh my god, insert your age. Stop it. Stop it, it's really annoying. And Yakuza games don't really have content like this game, even though they have some spicy stuff. Spicy stuff is just beginnings, okay? It's not difficult. Anyone can upload a game for sale on the site, which then sits alongside products developed by regulated mainstream game studios. Okay, and? Elvis reported the game to Steam as inappropriate 5 days ago. It has still not been taken down or subject to more stringent controls. Also, by default, I'm pretty sure the spicy games are hidden. The game's presence online also raises questions about the regulator Ofcom's ability to properly moderate content. Ofcom again, it is not pro-red, I promise. Really funny, really funny. BitChute was annoyed by the Ofcom, and these guys are sucking them up. Is this state propaganda? Probably is. It began to down harmful online content last month as part of the government's Online Safety Act, but the regulator told LBC is this site, by the way. It can't investigate individual complaints. That's despite Chief Executive Dan Melanie Dawes. I'm trying here, okay? Saying as part of LBC's Online Safety Day last month, our under-18s deserve a very different experience to the one they're getting now, so no pornography, a significant down-ranking of things like violent content or misogyny. Our under-18s, what is this wording? Say kids, say minors, it's fine. Under-18s, oh my god. And either way, they shouldn't be accessing pornography and stuff like that. But that's not for the government to regulate. That's parents not doing their job as parents. I keep complaining about this, but this keeps happening. Just be a fucking parent to your kid. It shouldn't be this difficult. The virus did publish its children's codes, which will set out requirements for sites to protect young people online. Tech firms will then have 3 months to carry out risk assessments. I hate this. I hate this. Because parents cannot be parenting properly. Now we have to have the government being everybody's parents. Well, fuck off. I have my parents. I don't need the government. Fuck you, government. You cannot tell me what to do. You are not my real dad. Which is actually true. Imagine. I'm very interested to see how Steam's parent company Valve will justify that topics like this are acceptable in a game. Why not? Freedom of expression, after all. If they deem them acceptable, they should make it a hell of a lot harder for your everyday consumer to be able to find. Kyle said, consumer? That's the word again. Never customer. Interesting. It's intriguing to see where this fits under the online safety bill. Mr. Kyle, who is facing pressure of the potential watering down of the Online Safety Act, insisted that Steam should remove the game from its marketplace. Hold up. Fuck, I had to sign in. Can I copy this in a different browser, perhaps? It's research time, baby. I will need to open up my Steam, I'm afraid. And I'm gonna do it now. Thing is... Spoiler alert! Supposedly the game is no longer on Steam. However, why are we letting the UK government dictate what people from other countries, like myself, can and cannot buy on a store that's not even British owned? Because I'm pretty sure Steam is American. I'm pretty sure Valve is American. Why do I have to be beholden to UK law when I'm not a UK citizen and I'm not buying from a UK company? That's a problem. That's ass. That's trash, and that should never happen. But it keeps happening. How many times have we talked about the payment processors not letting you buy stuff from Japan because we don't like it? Well, shut the fuck up, it's my money. It's not different. And then they will fill themselves with joy. We're protecting democracy. Sure thing, buddy. It'll LBC. We expect every one of those tech companies to remove content as soon as they possibly can after being made aware of it. What if they if they don't want to? Huh? That's what the law requires. It's what it requires the Secretary of State, and it is certainly how we expect platforms to operate, have the privilege of access to British society and British economy to do. How fucking dare you? The privilege to access British society. Privilege? In current year? Stop sniffing your farts, dude. Oh my god. The audacity. This is wild. This is what? Also, British economy? I don't think British economy is all that hot. Not nowadays, at least. Well, that could be said of literally any country, I guess. Mr. Collins suggested that the regulator should make a call of whether the game should remain online. That's not for the UK to decide, though. I've come with the regulator, Mr. Kai said. They're tasked with enforcing, and they will make the judgment as to whether content is removed in appropriate time. A spokesperson for the Games Rating Authority said, game raters provide parents and players information about the content of video games. You have labels on Steam. It's fine. Some of them are trash, okay? Because they're user-generated. And you see some stuff and you're like, okay, this is happy, wholesome, dating sim. You look the game. Oh, Dark Souls. They're pulling my leg here. But if it says explicit content, 18 plus, sexual content, and violence, that might be right. That might be correct. Maybe it's not for you if you're a little babu. Where was I? In the UK, physical game releases must carry a PEGI age rating by law. You said that, physical. Digital games are not legally required to carry an age rating, but the majority of leading stores use the trusted PEGI age rating process to provide confidence to consumers. Consumers, never customers. Also, trusted? They're simping way too hard. PEGI is kinda pass. As we've seen, although games on Steam can optionally apply for a PEGI age rating, your classification process. What's wrong with me? Am I French now? It's not mandated with the platform prior to the game's release. It shouldn't be. It's an American company. Why should they be beholden to those limitations? They don't have to. They don't have to. The game's rating authority has not classified this game and has not been approached to classify it since its release. Former Secretary of State for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, Nadine Dorries, who championed the online safety bill in its original form, told LBC, simping, so much simping. It's opponent and fits the insidious anti-Tate narrative which is taking hold amongst young men who spend too much time online. I hate banning things. No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. But sadly, social media has taken us to the place whereby, for the protection of children, vulnerable adults and women, we have to distance to be removed online immediately. Steam did not respond to LBC's request for comment. Citing Andrew Tate of all people is wild. I'm not an Andrew Tate fan, okay? I think the guy is a fucking moron. But to say he's promoting rape is insanity. Isn't that defamation, by the way? I'm pretty sure that's correct. I'm appalled, to say the least. You can disagree with the content, but... Oh, we hate banning things. You love banning things that you don't like. Shut the hell up. The Andrew Tate narrative. Which is really funny, because when you take a look at it, the Andrew Tate narrative is nothing more than strong independent women that need no men but for men. It's just the same. Use them as you see fit. Just keep fucking around, and I think it's bad. On both sides. Wow. You can't say that. You can't say that anymore. The audacity of these people, I swear. But sadly, we have an update from Collective Shouts. We did it! No Mercy is no longer available in the Steam store. It's from... today? Yesterday? I'm not sure. No Mercy is no longer available in the Steam store. This is the news we have been waiting for. And the our supporters have made possible. More than 3,000 emails to Steam CEO gave Newell. 70,000 entries on our petition. Global media attention. Making it loudly known that we object to 3D rape plus incest simulation games that treat sexual violence as entertainment. But killing people is fine, don't worry about it. Another victory because there are so many of you who cared enough to protest. We thank you and press on. The collective shut them. And stay connected. And, of course, if you were wondering, well, wonder no more. Because here we have, from Carly Allison, the woman, I suppose, that spearheaded this. Here she is reposting a tweet, I guess retweeting. There are plenty of studies showing a link between violent video games and violent behavior. Do your own homework. All this desperate reaching from you because you're angry that women object to video games that celebrate rape. It's 2025. And we're still saying, oh, but video games make people violent. No. You know what makes me violent? The government. When they do shit like this. Yep, the game is going globally from Steam. What the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to weaponize your loss in a global way? That's so ass. And sure, the game is really graphic. Sure, the game is... I don't think the game is celebrating rape. It has the content thing. But this happened before. This literally happened before. Many years ago, with a game called Hatred. It's been around for quite some time. Maybe you remember that. I don't remember it. Oh, this game is so bad. This game is so evil. You can just be murdering people left and right. Oh my god. This is so dangerous for society. We have to ban it. And it ended up coming back. Funny enough. I don't know if this game is gonna come back. But I don't believe it should. And as long as it has the proper labels, nothing wrong with that. It's just a video game. It's just a video game. What's the difference between playing this kind of game and reading books that have similar content? Well, how you doing, Big Wolf? We're reading news today. The night has never ended, I suppose. Don't like the game, don't buy it. It's that easy. It's just that easy. Speaking of things that keep happening, let's talk about a little bit of Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering X Final Fantasy VII breaks a strict date due to Wizards of the Coast error, distributed warrants of penalties as products returned undamaged. Is it gonna be Pinkerton's 2 Electric Boogaloo? I'm pretty sure this literally happened with the Lord of the Rings set. I think it was 2 years ago already. Oh my god, it feels so old. It's Cloud! It's never coming home. Once again, is coming to cover their own screw up after an error on the behalf of Wizards of the Coast, resulting in their Final Fantasy themed Magic the Gathering set breaking a strict date far earlier than scheduled. I think it's scheduled for June, so it's a couple of months still. The distributor responsible for delivering said materials has warned retailers that they could face massive penalties unless they return the accidentally released products in explicitly undamaged states. It's not their fault though. It's not their fault. I think the character is a little bit strong. Being able to hit 10,000 power seems a little bit too much. Power creeping, I suppose. The 26th IP out of the massively popular card game as part of its Universes Beyond. 26 already? Oh my god, that's way too much. Here's Vision Preserver Initiative and third to receives, come on guys, in proper set release after Assassin's Creed and The Lord of the Rings. The upcoming Final Fantasy set will see the introduction of wholly new cards and rethemed reprints based on the heroes, villains, and events of every mainline game. I'm not quite sure about that one. In Square Enix's iconic RPG franchise, well, maybe the cards we're seeing are not all the cards. That would make sense. Can we get Onion Knight? It's probably gonna be a green card. Maybe not. Maybe not good. Coming to both capitalize on Final Fantasy's popularity and ensure fans will have as many avenues as possible to obtain its already well-in-demand cards. The sets for the product lineup will include regular and collector booster packs / boxes, regular and gift edition bundles featuring exclusive card arts, as well as the Mongol-covered D20. D20? Why? This is not the D&D set. 4 pre-constructed commander decks. 4, that's a lot. As intended for out-of-the-box use in the fan-created commander format. They say fan-created commander format, but it has a bunch of official support nowadays, so that's strange. Based on Final Fantasy 6, 7, 10, and 14. That's every game, I forgot. In the 2-player standard format, Starter Kit centered on the personal battles between 7 protagonist Cloud and his Dark Reflection Sephiroth. This kinda pisses me off a little bit. I've been playing MTG Forge, of course, and I'm trying to grind some wizards right now, right? I just did a little bit of restocking and I saw a Terra card already. I got a Titus. I've seen Cecil a couple of times. I don't think I've seen Yuffie yet. I'm pretty sure I've seen at least the Dragon of Mount Gulg many times. I've seen the Jumbo character before. I think I've seen Stolle. But there's some cards of the set I've seen many times. I have yet to see Cloud. And he has 2 different cards. And I've been rolling Boris, I've been rolling Soldiers. It's never coming home. The game hates me. I just want this card, okay? It's not so much to ask, I guess it is. Should be in the game, I'm pretty sure. Officially, the Final Fantasy set is currently planned for release on June 30th. I wasn't wrong. I thought it was 20-something, but I guess it's still June. Not a big deal. Unfortunately for the WotC, despite the street date still being over 2 months away, just technically 2 months away still, and yet to be publicly detailed distribution error on the publisher's end, resulting in a run of the aforementioned starter kits being prematurely delivered to a handful of Brazilian games. It's always the Brazilians! Why? Why always the Brazilians? What's going on here? Do they have a really scuffed company as a middleman or what? I don't understand. Shortly after which, its localized content was subsequently leaked online, which further skews can be viewed in the /MTG rumors subreddit here. I will have to take a look. Tower Strike Indestructible. /. I also have this card, so I'm sure Cloud is in the game. These fucking guys. In response to their unforced error, the unnamed Brazilian distributor who delivered the products on WotC's orders has since issued a warning to the relevant game stores, asking them to promptly return the products unopened and undamaged, lest they face significant penalties from the publisher. It's not their fault. How are they supposed to know? We have identified that Wizards of the Coast has been sending Final Fantasy Gets in error. Read the copy of said warning, as reviewed by the TCG news outlet Card Realm. Due to commercial policy, we required that whoever received the item return it to the distributor. We'll bear the cost of this return. Ensure to save the Final Fantasy Pearlies kit. Please contact your consultant so we can make arrangements. This is really important. This material is returned and damaged, they added. If it has occurred, please notify distributor urgently to avoid any penalties from Wizards of the Coast. Penalties from Wizards of the Coast, when it's not even their mistake? What's going on here? What are they talking about? My goodness, I'm not a big fan of WotC. I don't think that's surprising in any way, shape or form. Not a big fan. That's gonna keep happening. Small tangent. I'm kind of curious about this card, and I might want to make a deck around this. I don't know how, I don't know what. Human Avatar Soldier, Vigilance, sure the buffs stuff when it enters. I think that's buffs when shit dies. I mean, I guess that's a bit pick black, but I don't know, I have no idea. I would need to see some cards that tell me that this is working properly. Together, I mean. As noted, this is not the first such time that the WotC saw mistake, resulting in the premature release of an MTG set. In 2023, I guess this not only happened once. Due to what is currently believed to be the publisher mixing up their packaging labels prior to sending their product to distributors. Why do I struggle so much with that today? Yet to burn down all the school MTG canon, it was in the booster box of the then upcoming March of the Machine, The Aftermath, set roughly 3 weeks before its official street date. What really happened, canon is speculated, but the names are too similar. March of the Machine and March of the Machine, The Aftermath. Well, yeah. I think that one makes sense. I'm picking the mic. I think that one makes sense, at least. And somebody screwed up and sent out the wrong cases to the gentleman and bought the box stuff off. Because when he sold me the stuff, he said he was selling me March of the Machine's collector's box, not Aftermath. What a huge mistake. But then the customer gets into trouble and it's not their fault. It's insanity. But as many may remember, rather than simply letting the error slide or checking where their supply chain broke down, Watts instead responded by hiring actual agents of the Pink or Detective Agency to physically retrieve the cars from Cannes. I'm pretty sure this also happened with the Lord of the Rings. So what? I don't need pregnant bots. Okay, I don't need my bots to be pregnant. No pregnant. Oh my god. Where's my thing? There we go. Get killed. No pregnant bots, okay? Do not make baby with a machine. It's not good. It's not good. The aftermath of the aftermath. Everything is gone. Maybe gathering discussing MTG Monk Mat. Guess that's the video. Yep. Bad formatting. Deciding whether or not WotC will take similar steps with the Brazilian Final Fantasy League remains to be seen. Per above, the Final Fantasy set for Magic the Gathering is currently slated to officially hit sleeves. Shelves, not sleeves. Maybe sleeves too, right? On June 13th. Yeah, here they mentioned the Brazilian company is called Galapagos, which is a renowned company in the board games here in South America. So I guess that makes sense, but this keeps happening, man. This keeps happening. Yeah, let me take a look here. Oh, that's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards. Hold up. Oh, we may have some trouble here. This appears to be in Spanish. My goodness. Suplex? Oh my god, for my Zell deck. Okay. Do we see someone here that we know? Beatrix! Beatrix is in the game. Should be a soldier, right? That seems good. That's Rosa. That's a Muggle. I can show this, probably. Right? Gonna get slammed? I shouldn't. They're images. This is exciting. So, this should be Rosa, right? This is Beatrix. This is Lightning. This is a guy. This is... Steiner! Is he gonna be a soldier too? Hot Cell. It's Hot Cell. Seems to be cheap, right? 2-1 for 2. Kinda weak. We have Muggle. We have... Wait! Oh, it's not a creature, but this is the Warrior of Light. It's so cool. Let's see. White Mage. Isn't there an artifact? I guess the spear? I mean, it's probably lance, right? Lance, spear, pretty much the same. Katana. Oh shit, word! Well, interesting. Have some sort of sword here. What else do we have? Oh. It's Cloud! It's Cloud, it's also foil. We have some lands here, some tokens, I guess. Interesting. What else do we have? Okay, isn't that Ultimisha? Interesting, blue, that makes sense. And Seymour. Wow, of all things they have Zane? Wow, that's cool. Equipment. The hogging, that's cool. Fucking rats, really? Shinra soldiers. It's kind of cool. And Sephiroth! That's Sephiroth killing areas! Oh my god, not like this. That's... Hit us? It's a black card, what the hell? -0 minus 9,999. Yeah, that's going to kill a motherfucker. What do they have here? More lands. Sephiroth! Some... chests. Interesting. Interesting. I was expecting a red mage. Kind of disappointed. Not that many red cards, I don't think. Oh shit! I don't see her. That's Reggie. That's interesting. That could be an interesting card. Also appear to have some special lands, maybe? That's kind of cool. Oh, they had the translations here. Hold up. Beatrix, human soldier with vigilance. Beginning of a elf combat and your turn, attach any number of equipment to target creature you control. That's pretty good. Not bad. Lightning, also soldier. Menace. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You can cast that card as long as you control lightning. Okay, 2-3 for 3, that's okay. Ultimate weapon! For saving, equip sapping. Or for free, you have Beatrix, I guess. Whenever crit creature attacks, destroy target creature. Crit creature gets +7/+7. Damn. Steiner. Oh, nice. Lifelink. Gets +1/+1 for each equipment you control. Okay, that's interesting. You have a Quirl. Blade of Light. Blade of Light deals damage equal to the number of creatures in equipment you control target creature. That makes sense. Let me just run. Choose a job! Oh my god. This equipment is critical. Colorless 1/1 here attacking and attach this to it. A crit creature gets +1/+1. Gains whenever the creature attacks, you gain 1 life. Insert cleric in addition to its other types. Oh. Dragon Spear. Crit creature gets +1/+0 against a knight in addition to its other types. Then your turn, creature gets flying. Oh, that's so cool. It's raging. Knight! Rat Knight! In your turn, creature has flying. That makes sense. Tap. Add red. Only use this mana to cast equipment or activate abilities of equipment. Interesting. Ultimation. Human Warlock. Type of creatures your opponents control when you play this. Interesting. Sunday. Talent's blue and black. Human Sorcerer. Has menace and gets +1/+1 for each non-creature or non-land card in your graveyard. Why does it have to be black? This was red would be much better. Reinforcements, soldiers. And people fail, get fucked. Interesting, that's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. Didn't expect that. Also, hold up. Do we have the katana? We do. Equip 5, my goodness. A creature gets +2/+2, has trample and haste. Samurai in addition to its other types. Trample and haste with red? That's really interesting. This is a great sword with trample. Not bad! Not bad at all. But sadly, we had to go to things that are actually bad once again. Things are never getting better, I'm afraid. I don't think they're going to slap me for showing this. I'm way too small. I should be way too small, at least. But the Netflix Devil May Cry saga continues, sadly. I've seen some ironclad defense of the series, and apparently, let's look at Cloud for a second here. Apparently, the lore is completely butchered. Imagine that. But then they go on to defend, oh, but the animation is so good. The animation is so bad, it's not even funny. It feels extremely choppy. A really low amount of frames. That is got flowing with literally 3 frames. You know what else flows with 3 frames? My GIF that I made for my starting string 2 years ago. I'm not an artist, and I know it's scuffed. This is not Netflix. And of course I also mentioned that at one point, because I saw the clip on Twitter, they have some sort of conspiracy theorist kind of podcaster, even though it's supposed to be the early 2000s, I think, I'm not quite sure. Saying, oh my god, look at that! Look at that! They keep telling you it's the Russians. They're not the Russians! They're demons from hell! And you look at the guy, and it's obviously Asmongold. The guy is even missing the same tooth that Asmongold is missing. And I mentioned that on Twitter too. And you have Addison Carr losing his fucking mind, posting many pictures of Asmongold on Twitter, trying to get a reply. Like, I mean, come on, guys. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. And he ended up replying, "I've never been more excited for season 2 in my life." Then Ad replies, "They laughed at you and worshipped the late-night talk show puppets were built to distract them from the truth. And the truth demons from hell are here. Keep spinning facts. Truth has resonance, which is a bunch of nonsense." Okay? Asmongold's not the guy from the show, for real, okay? It's not the same guy. It's clearly based on him, but it's not the same guy. Funny enough, since he's replying to Asmongold, and we all know that Asmongold is really evil, far right, and whatnot, even though he's mostly just a guy. "Oh, he's so evil, look at what he's saying," and you look at what Asmon says, and most of the stuff's just extremely cold takes. Just cold takes. I'm more spicy than him on my sleep, okay? And most people are normal. Most people are middle of the ground, imagine that. But since he's supposed to be Satan nowadays, you have a lot of people throwing Adi Shankar under the bus. "Well, I can no longer support you because you're talking in good terms to the Roach King. Now we have to say that Devil May Cry is ass," and this shows they're never actual fans. They never enjoyed the show for what it was, because an interaction like this wouldn't change what you think of the show, because the show is a closed system as it is right now. Even though they announced the second season, because they always do, because they always have enough for 2 seasons, but it should be a long season, but instead they make 2 short ones. So it looks like the first season was actually successful, even though we don't know. This is just political posing. And this guy is so far gone. He believes that Asmongold is probably supporting him, but he's just memeing. He's just memeing because, "Look guys, it's me for real. The guy's just memeing, probably. Yet here we are. Yet here we fucking are. See? You're hating Adi Shankar for the wrong reasons. We cannot be friends like this. Absolutely not. You have to be a skill hater even, okay? Has to be within reason. Oh my god, man, what the hell? Clowns, all of them. It's insane. It's insane. Speaking of insanity and franchises getting destroyed by the modern day, I have to admit, this was really unexpected when you saw it. From the BBC, Bond and Paddington could star at Universal Park. I'm not a big fan of Daniel Craig as James Bond. He's not a bad actor, but if you see his James Bond movies, he looks like John McClane, not like James Bond. Very different characters. As it's close to the University project has told the BBC what fans can expect from the new park being built in Bedford. James Bond, Paddington, and Lord of the Rings are among the brands set to appear at the park, the BBC has learned. Rides and attractions related to Harry Potter are not expected to be included. Interestingly enough. On its website, Universal Destinations has claimed it is too early to know what attractions will be at the park. Construction designed at Campstown, Hardwick, Bedfordshire, expected to start next year if planning permission is granted. While the source is confident that these concepts are happening, the theme park is not expected to open until 2031. Oh my god. That's 6 years into the future. It feels so far away. It's approaching fast. Which means some plans could change. The attractions. That's kind of long actually. That's fine. Universal aims to provide distinct attractions to each of its parks, with the Bedfordshire on one set to feature unique attractions not found elsewhere. DC has been told that the other themed zones and rides at the park will be inspired by Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, and Minions. What a strange mismatch of IPs, honestly. The source says that contracts have been signed, and it would be unlikely things would change. At this point, it will be little details they tweak, like let us use a different shade of paint on the Lord of the Rings castle, they said. That's a little bit scary, it's the UK. I don't think this is gonna be accurate to their IPs. And I do like Lord of the Rings. So this makes me a little bit nervous. The locations can be seen on the map of what the site could look like, into specific details such as the Hill Valley cloud from Back to the Future having a skewer. Guess makes sense. It's too early after all. Which have already been designed with the majority planned as indoor attractions. Roller coasters based on Back to the Future, Jurassic Park and Minions are among the few rides that will not be undercover. I mean, there are roller coasters, that makes sense. There will be a stunt show based on 007, similar to the Bourne's Stentacular in Florida. What a word. If you look at Epic Universe, the newest park they're opening in Florida, a lot of those rides are indoors too, the source said. But why? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Hold up. I'm a little bit stuffy. It got a little bit colder, which is pretty good. I'm not dying. Culture Secretary, listen Andy. Andy? What a name. So BBC Breakfast in the theme park would be an opportunity to show off great British creations to the world. These are things like James Bond, Paddington Bear. These are things like Harry Potter. We got so much to be proud of, she said. Yeah, but I don't know about their depictions of these works, especially of some of the more divisive ones. Not only Harry Potter themed area will not be part of the park, as it is situated just the 40-minute drive from the Warner Bros. Studio Tour in Livingston, Hertfordshire. So many shires, that explains the Lord of the Rings, I guess. Attractions based on J.K. Rowling's characters and settings, a popular feature of other Universal resorts, which makes sense. The source told the BBC that watertight exclusivity contracts made it difficult to include Hogwarts in the plans. Yeah, that makes sense. Although it could be considered alongside other brands such as Nintendo or Wicked if the park were to expand in the future. I might be ignorant, I don't think Nintendo is a British work, right? Am I wrong? This sounds something you see in Britland. Strange. Strange. Probably some sort of licensing stuff with the movies, I suppose. Trying to get more people, and it's always the case. Warner Bros. Has the UK rights to Harry Potter attractions. They try to find a way around it. Around it, you mean? But couldn't. That could change in years to come, though, the show said. Warner Bros. Studio Tour has been invited to comment. When people get there, I don't really care too much. Thing is, the Lord of the Rings, of all things possible, that seems like an atrocity to me. Not because they're gonna make it wrong or bad, which I bet they can and perhaps will, but because it's probably the opposite of what the Lord of the Rings is about. They are trying to become Disney in a strange way. Did you know that Tolkien actually hated Disney? He went in a completely different way for a reason. I don't know. It feels so obviously commercial, right? Which makes sense, but I don't know. If you want to feel the world of The Lord of the Rings, just go into the forest with a book, right? Probably not if you are American. I've seen the forest there are really dangerous. Don't get yourself killed, okay? Don't get yourself disappeared either. That's probably bad. It's probably a bad idea. I don't know. I don't know. And once again, I don't enjoy the Lord of the Rings. I think it's probably the last good movie or set of movies from Hollywood. It's been more than 20 years. I keep saying that. More than 20 years. My age is showing. But you see, Rings of Power, as you see the Magic the Gathering set, and you look at the art, everybody looks so strange. Why are they so black? And then you see the Hard Dream, and why are they so white? They're supposed to be brown people. It doesn't make any sense to me. But the designs of the characters are wildly different. Most of them, at least. Frodo and Sam seem to be pretty normal, at least, which is good. And look, I said this during literally my first stream. Aragorn's design, it is a cool design, don't get me wrong, but you cannot tell me that guy is Aragorn, okay? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Which is a shame. What a way to destroy it. Pretty decent design. But alas, WotC after all. And speaking of WotC, I wanted to mention this before, but I completely forgot because we were looking at the Final Fantasy set. I've seen some videos, and I'm not trying to discredit them, but the source is Screen Rant, and Screen Rant is probably one of the worst platforms to get news. They lie, they make mistakes all the time. So I cannot, in good faith, use Screen Rant as a source. But apparently, a lot of people are living Dungeons and Dragons, which is interesting. One of them being Jeremy Crawford, one of the directors, so that's interesting. We'll see if that happens. They're supposed to leave by the end of the month, so we'll see. And of course some people think, oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. They're getting new people and whatnot. And if it wasn't Wizards of the Coast, I could agree that maybe it can get better. It's Wizards of the Coast. I don't think it's gonna get better. There are many things I disagree with Jeremy Crawford about Rollins' design and whatnot. Shocker, that's gonna happen a lot of the time. I have my specific ideas. But if you think the game is gonna get better and more complex, I don't think that's gonna happen. Because the trend is literally the opposite. Everything becoming simplified, bland, because in theory you could appeal to everyone. But when you try to appeal to everyone, you incur the risk of not appealing to anyone. Which is funny, right? It's really funny. I don't know. I don't think D&D is doing that great lately, which... Shrug. It is not by my hand, I don't really care too much. I'm not even playing, I haven't played in years at this point. But you cannot expect to have infinite growth, and you're basing that on... But we had fantastic growth during COVID. Yeah, but COVID had some really specific conditions, right? It was a really specific situation. It's not gonna happen again. It seems like a massive mistake. Especially when you're getting people into the game now, and 2, 3, 4, even 5 years later, you're telling them, you have to buy these books again. Sure, you made those books in 2014, some of them at least. But they just bought them. Why would they buy them again? Doesn't make any sense. You don't have to buy the new system. I know, because I've read it. But some people still enjoy playing 2nd edition, Advanced D&D, and all that. So you're always gonna have diminishing returns. Because you're always gonna leave people behind. We'll see what happens. Would I want the game to become better? Well, yeah, of course. I think it's gonna happen. I don't know, I don't think so. We'll see, I'm not an expert or anything. We'll see. And speaking of adaptations, James Wang from Eggman is directing a Dead Space movie for Warner Brothers. Ruben Wellman from Limitless is writing the script. I know nothing about Dead Space, and I know nothing about these guys. But it's a movie about the video game, so I can only assume it's gonna be trash. That's always the case. Maybe not always, but always. You know what I'm saying. It's mostly the case for a reason, after all. It is truly that bad. And what else do we have here? We have a strange article here. I don't know what to think about this. I think it's just current society disappointed me once again. What else is new? So let's talk about a little bit about dating, shall we? What is micro-cheating? Inside an infidelity trend, couples don't even know they're committing. They don't even know, guys. Surely this is gonna be absolutely normal. Surely nothing strange is gonna be happening here. If only. Liking a co-worker's photo on social media, sending them direct messages, checking on Slack more often than before. Checking on Slack more often than before, oh my god. Progressively interacting in this way with someone inside your relationship may be no big deal to you. To your significant other, however, it may be micro-cheating, which some people consider a form of infidelity because it can involve building a bond one heart emoji at a time. This is once again people not understanding the different types of relationships humans can have. Different types of, dare you say, love, even though this could just be friendship. Also, back in my day, this was called being jealous, okay? Although pushing the boundaries of what's allowed in a relationship is not a new concept, the issue has become even more common with the rise of remote work, said William Schroeder, a therapist and owner of Just Mind Counseling, centers in Austin, Texas. This is not gonna be as good at all. People have more detailed relationships, so it kind of creates more space for that, Schroeder said. This work from home environment, it can happen even easier because it's real low risk. I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. I'm having trouble. I don't think flirting with co-workers is good. But I would say that fucking them is worse, okay? Micro-cheating, a term popularized by Australian psychologist Melanie Schilling, I bet she is, could be anything short of a physical or emotional relationship if it involves a behavior you can talk about openly with a partner. Self-reflective social media chatting also could mean lingering too long at the water cooler to talk to a co-worker, sharing personal details of your own relationship, or touching up if you know you'll see someone. On the other hand, you have open relationships, polycules, polyamory, in the complete opposite of this nonsense. We just put a new label on it, said Abby Metcalf, a psychologist in Berkeley, California, host of the Relationships Made Easy podcast. But Metcalf noted that with most of her patients in recent years, micro-cheating involves testing or messages on social media. It can be a slippery slope. Guys, is it wrong to have friends? Some people will tell you yes, which is a little bit scary when you think about it. But who am I to judge, I guess? What's the big deal? Yes, relationship norms evolve and terms like polyamory come out of the shadows. You cannot compare these two in this way, okay? Only I can do it. Because they are polar opposites. Accurate commenting and photo may seem fairly innocuous. Many couples don't care, Metcalf said, but people who do shouldn't feel bad for it. There isn't a right and wrong in relationships, she said. It comes down to preferences. I guess. I do believe that there are some things that are wrong no matter what. Aiming for a specific action has not been discussed and forbidden. Trouble arises when it takes away energy from your primary relationship, she said. It's cheating if your partner doesn't like it, or doesn't know about it, or wouldn't like it if they knew about it. Now, if your partner doesn't like it, that's fair. That doesn't mean it's cheating. Okay? That doesn't mean it's cheating. Maybe your partner doesn't like when you're drunk out of your goddamn fucking mind. That's not cheating. That's being a piece of shit. It's different. It is still bad, but words have meanings. I know. What a concept. She advised resisting the urge to snoop, which is a sign there's a lack of trust in the relationship. What you want to know is, how's your partner treating you? She said, do you feel number one? You're number one? The song says it. How should couples handle it? She decided that the relationship has boundaries, some of which may have been discussed and others that are implied. These days, the gray area is bigger than ever. Because these days, people are the worst at communication. Which is insanity. We're supposed to be in the age of communication. Not like this. Not like this. Particularly if a couple met on a dating app, it's important to discuss whether to disable it and be exclusive, he said. Then define what exclusive means. Just not dating other people, continue conversation through an app, or pursuing others on social media. The hell am I reading here? Excuse me? Excuse you? Excuse my fucking French! I don't understand! Whether to disable it and be exclusive. Yes, you drooling buffoon! What are you talking about? Of course you have to be exclusive to one another. You cannot be fucking around, you cannot be dating other people. You're not trying to pursue other people. Aren't you trying to marry and have baby? Am I too old for this world? God fucking damn it, man. I think all of these people are retarded. The best time to bring it up is long before a problem arises. Well, yeah, I guess. If it's difficult to know when or how, he said, he equated having to stuck with driving. Think that you have a full tank of gas, you're going to start thinking. Why should we stop to get gas, he said. In changing behavior, if the significant other seems to be more secretive with their phone, for instance, or checking social media more often, could be a sign of an issue, he said. They're trying to rediscover the wheel, for some reason. It's not necessarily something wrong, maybe they're trying to surprise you with a real specific gift. And they're being secretive, so you don't say the fucking gift before the big day. Am I crazy? Don't answer that one. But try not to be accusatory. Rather mention you have noticed they are more engaged with the phone and that it worries you because you're not sure what it means. No, fuck that, be direct. If there's a problem, be direct. Don't try to be conniving about it. Be direct. It's communication, it should be direct. Having that kind of curiosity is a much better place to have a conversation, Schroeder said. Technically cheating happens for many reasons, but often it's because people are simply looking for the spark they feel from a new relationship. Because people are fucking stupid. Do you know that? Some patients who engage in secretive behavior never cross through the lines, but Schroeder said noticing if you yourself are doing it can be instructive. Also, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of a relationship. Just get caught, it's that easy. It can be discussed to reveal, he said. Sometimes when those little micro-cheating examples come up, it can be really helpful to understand. Alright, where's this coming up for me? Flirting. It's just called flirting. At best. It doesn't have to be malicious or anything. You can be in good terms with people and not wanting to fuck them. Is this a new concept? I guess it might be. In all new concepts, that makes any sense. I don't even know. I don't even understand. And some people will tell you, oh, having a relationship nowadays is harder than ever. Well, yes, have you seen these trolling idiots talking about relationships? It shouldn't be this difficult. Just fucking communicate. Stop being a whore. I think that works. I think that works. But let us finish for today with something actually wholesome. We're going back to Chuba news. And I thought this was really interesting because that's a Chuba I know, tangentially, thanks to Pipkin Pipa. VTuber Otskare trends after a heartfelt message to fans as Dora starts kindergarten. She does a lot of karaoke. It's real nice. God, the kid is so fucking cute. Otskare thanks her fans and share her journey via a heartwarming letter as her daughter Draco starts kindergarten. Otskare describes herself as a motherly virtual YouTuber and virtual singer. She thanked her fans in a wholesome message. What touched the hearts of many was her story as a single mother and her daughter starting kindergarten. Otskare thanks fans as her daughter starts kindergarten. Many times I've read it already? 3? 4? Too much. The VTuber shared the momentous news of her daughter Rika, as well as her story, by posting X. Translated in English below. Thank goodness. Kind of long, it's fine. My daughter Rika will be starting kindergarten this spring. As a single mother, the fact that I've been able to raise my daughter safely up to this point is not thanks to everyone who has supported me along the way. Truly, thank you so much. Back then, when I slowly found out I was pregnant, I was filled with overwhelming anxiety. With my parents in and out of the hospital, no siblings and no one close to rely on, I wondered, could I really raise a child properly on my own? But my father, who passed away last year, gave me the courage to go through with it when he said, I want to see my grandchild's face. I still remember that during childbirth, my condition became critical. Oh my god. The doctor asked my father, which life do we save? How he wept. Yet, despite it all, Becca fought her way into the world. Looking back, I'm so glad I was able to bring her into this world. I'm so grateful to have met someone as special as Seika. From the day she was born till today, I've loved her more than anything in this world, every single day. Of course, life hasn't been easy, because I've always been physically firm myself. I wanted Rika to grow up as strong as possible, so I breastfed her until she was 3. Seems a little bit too much. Not judging though. And precisely because I'm a single parent, and just to become a VTuber so I could spend as much time with her as possible. Things didn't always go smoothly, and there were days I had to rely on savings from my idle days. She was an idol, I didn't know that. Guess that situation makes a little bit more sense now. That also explains her fantastic singing skills. But little by little, the number of people supporting me grew. Rika has grown up right alongside me during my streams. The baby who once knew nothing has now learned to speak, to sing, and is about to become a kindergartner. To everyone who has watched over us all this time, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and please keep watching us from here on out too. The post also came with a video showing Rika's various appearances throughout the years. Rika first appeared on the first ASMR stream featuring the mother daughter duo when she was only 2 months old. Only 2 months?! The compilation continues with various milestones from Otskare and Rika. Rika's first birthday, Otskare's channel getting 10,000 subs, and just having fun singing together. Otskare's content on her YouTube channel and fan box is English, Spanish, and Chinese subtitles. I think she has a bunch of Spanish mods. How is that so common? A bunch of waves. As time of the writing, Otskare now has 188,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. Understandably, her posts brought many to tears. Despite me looking to their channel and content, they're the cutest I have ever seen. All I can say but I am now a huge fan of kindergarten Rika Tang, wrote Blueberry on X. This guy drinking, which makes us stop it. Oh my god, what the hell are you doing? Stop it! Let me read the article. Come on now. Of course, some users didn't pass out the chance to encourage people to support them. Hell yeah. fully reaching. No! Dragons models so fucking cute, dude. They're so nice. They're so nice. Hell yeah. You love to see it when stuff like this happens. This is kind of a good ending kind of deal. I reload those stories. Ah man, what a day! What a day we had today. What a day we had today. Pretty good. Bunch of stuff was arguably ass. But I think we can take solace and there's also good stuff happening in this world. It's always a relief, to say the least. But anyway, time for me to take my leave soon. So, plan for next week. More MTG Forge adventure, where you need to put out the orb and get wizards. You having a Spanish accent or is it just me? It might be just you. You never know. You never know. Oh, hold up. Thank you for the follow. I'm just ending for today, I'm afraid. And just ending for today. But some people say I'm from really different places. Being called German, being called Russian, being called a lot of things. But I am ESL, if that's helpful for you. Yeah. Well, for next week, we have Empty Forge, trying to get something rolling with the spell deck. I don't know if it's gonna work. I do want some really specific cards. I don't know if that's gonna happen. And we have more Dragon Quest 5. Need to grind a little bit, I think. Need to explore a little bit. Tend to check the casino a little bit more. The new casino at least. And we might start a new game. No promises, but maybe. It's a big maybe. I still need to decide, I guess, which kind of game. We've been talking about Pokemon Emerald, thanks to that Picora kind of news. That was extremely silly. So I guess Pokemon Emerald could make sense, but obviously not vanilla. Nothing wrong with vanilla, but I don't like hoeing, man. I don't like it. So I was considering Sea Glass, but the guy I follow just started playing Sea Glass. It'd be silly to watch the gameplay of game I'm actually playing. It'd be a little too silly, so I guess probably Emerald Legacy. Time to see the rebalance and whatnot. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. But no promises yet. There's also that. I don't even remember the name. I know I talked about it before. This kind of Emerald remake. It's been popping up on YouTube and on Twitter lately. I know the first demo is gonna come out at some point next month. Was it the 15th? I think it was the 15th. I'm not sure. I would like to try that one too. Seems really interesting, seems really cool. Graphics wise, mechanics wise should be pretty much the same. But yeah, time for me to take my leave. We did everything we set up to. So, thank you for coming, hope you had some fun. We had to end up with good news finally. And see you on Monday. Monday, Empty Forge, absolutely. We'll be running through the Lands of Blue, I think. Should I start getting them for the actual bosses in the game, like the Hydra or the Core Temples? I think that's what we're supposed to do, but my decks are a little bit scuffed still, so we still need to get more cards. But yeah, thank you for coming, hope you had some fun, and I will see you all on Monday. Until then, take care, and keep the grind up.